Hi everyone. Hope you all have a good day so far. And I just have some free time, and I just got a new microphone for my laptop, so hopefully my voice will sound clearer, and the volume will be higher than previous videos, so you can understand all the words uttered. Uh, uh, Carefully, and that would enhance your understanding on my discourse. And I just saw a very very interesting quote from the Upanishads. He's the Lord of all. He's the knower of all. He's the inner controller. He's the source of all. For from him all beings originate, and in him they finally disappear. Very interesting quote. And this goes well in parallel with all the things that we've been discussing so far. He here is meaning God, the Creator. So from him all beings originate. So when we look back in physics, that they discuss the Big Bang, which happened 14 billion years ago. It started out from empty space when there was nothing. So from empty space, then things start out at a very small singular point and exploded into the universe that we observing today. So God here is being equated to emptiness. That's where all things originate. And in him, eventually, they finally disappear. As we know that all things are very impermanent. So all things rise and progress into existence, and then die out eventually and disappear, including us human beings. So it's only natural. It's very orderly. And speaking of order, here's another quote from Krishnamurti. He said, "Everything seems to live in order, in its own order. The sea with its tides, the new moon and the setting of the full moon, the lovely spring and the warmth of summer. Even the earthquake of yesterday has its own order. Order is the very essence of the universe. The order of birth and death, and so on. It is only man that seems to live in such disorder, confusion. He has lived that way since the hour began." Quite interesting quote from Krishnamurti. Is that man has been poisoned by greed, hatred, and ignorance. So everything he does, he has projected all those three poisons onto his action, hoping to materially gain for himself, for his survival in the material world. And that creates a lot of conflicts with one another. That's why there's so much disorder, confusion in man's actions. Here's one from Einstein, my favorite scientist. All religions, arts, and sciences are branches of the same tree. All these aspirations are directed toward ennobling man's life, lifting it from the sphere of mere physical existence, and leading the individual towards freedom. That is, all these three gems, religions, arts, and sciences, they complement one another to lift humanity from misery, from confusion, and this is the best way for survival, is to embrace these three diamonds. That is, if we just have scientific knowledge only without the guidance of wisdom, then we'll be making many mistakes. For example, scientists can create bombs and go into war and destroy humanity. So in that sense, science is in the world of misery and creates a lot of conflicts and confusion and sufferings for humanity. Therefore, science needs to be guided by wisdom, by religions, and associate with all the guidance there. We have arts. So when we get into arts, of course, arts is the beauty of nature, of the universe, of humanity, of all things beyond words. For example, as we listen to the music can penetrate deep into our soul, our consciousness, which has a healing effect for our being, and it's beyond words. We cannot use words to describe the divinity of music. Or in wisdom, in religions, in meditation, we have come away from words, sounds, images, and the rest of it. And then we would take a leap into the world of emptiness. Which consists of 99.99% of the whole existence that we see today. And if you consider dark energy, dark matter, dark information, dark universal dynamics of evolution. So Einstein concluded that all these gems, all these aspirations are directed toward ennobling man's life, lifting it from the sphere of mere physical existence and leading the individual towards freedom. Indeed. We often talk about love and compassion. And live a divine life that leads us to enlightenment. So exactly what is love? Here Krishnamurti this is his perception on love. Love has no time. It is not my love opposed to your love. Love is never personal. One may love another, but when that love is limited, narrowed down to one person, then it ceases to be love. Where there really is love, there's no division of time, thought, and all the complexities of life, all the misery and confusion, the uncertainties, jealousies, anxieties involved. So for a layperson, as listening to Krishnamurti talking about love is not personal. It's quite confusing, because that's how we grown up and learn how to love. Love what is close to us, love those that are related to us, and so on. And cut out the rest of the world, if they're not close to us or if we don't know them. So that love is very limited, and it is attached to thoughts. It's defined by thoughts. It's personalized by thoughts, with its fears, sufferings, and sorrows. Love is not of any of those qualities. Love is universal. It's not personal. And love is in every one of us. And that's the unconditional universal love that we're discussing. So when the mind is enlightened, and love is unconditionally universal, love one another, love all beings, all matters, energies, all God's creation, then that love comes from the enlightening divine emptiness that has no division, has no calculation, has no plan for personal gain whatsoever. Then that love will bring peace and compassion to all beings. This is a very interesting quote from Rexsy. The universal consciousness is pervasively omnipresent in all cosmic phenomena since the beginningless states of timeless existential evolution. Meditation essentially is to be in oneness with the infinite sacred divinity, which certainly is the source of all existences, anti-existences, and beyond the unfathomable multidimensional universes or multiverse. That is, the universal consciousness is omnipresent. It's in all of us. It's everywhere we see, even a billion of light years from here. It's the God nature, Buddha nature, or Christ nature in all of us. So when we immerse into the cosmic ocean of the universal consciousness and become oneness with its divinity, its enlightenment, then all our actions spring from the cosmic intelligence will be absolutely sane and uplifting humanity and all beings. At the silence of thought, basically. Interestingly, there's another quote from Rexsy. In the silence of the mind, wisdom reveals. Under the guidance of wisdom, thought and knowledge may enter the functional world without sense of conflicts. Understanding the significance of this, wisdom is supreme above all cost. That is, in meditation, the mind is absolutely silent. And in that empty silence, wisdom will shine forth in one's consciousness. That is when one immerses into the cosmic ocean of universal consciousness. So whatever one action is to be, as long as under the guidance of such wisdom, then one can minimize the conflicts of existence. So if one realizes all this, the significance of all this, then wisdom is supreme above all cost. As Jesus Christ always reminded us that get wisdom at any cost. Okay, let's see what else we have here. This is probably the last one we'll look over. Another quote, and it's from Universal Wisdom, unknown author, probably from Zen meditation hundreds of thousands of years ago. At the moment when one able to meditate his mind to the stream of emptiness and is able to hold it there in the serene tranquility, then his spirit is unified with the spirit of the universe, and it has returned to its original state from which his mind and all things in the universe have emerged as appearance. So basically, this is what we've been discussing today. on this video is that once we meditate and our mind emerges to the extreme emptiness and be in a serene tranquility, and we unify with the universal consciousness. And this is basically the original state where the mind and all things have emerged as appearance. So there's an interconnection with this phrase with other things that we discussed earlier. And that's the beauty. So here you can see the integration, the unification, the unity of all the wisdoms, whether it's from the Buddha or Einstein or Krishnamurti or Christ, from all the enlightened beings. They are unified and they are in oneness with the universal consciousness. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of wisdom meditation. So I wish you all have a wonderful evening and be at peace with yourself and the whole world and the whole universe. And greatest happiness to you all. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.